Picture this. A kid sits alone in the dark, wide-eyed, waiting for a hero to burst through the door, someone to swoop in, fix the mess, and save the day. We've all been that kid at some point, haven't we? Clinging to the hope that someone out there, mom, dad, a friend, a boss, hell, even the universe itself, will show up with a cape and a plan. But here's the cold, hard truth that hits like a freight train. There comes a moment in every boy's life when the room stays quiet, the door doesn't budge, and the realization sinks in. No one's coming. That's the moment he stops being a boy and starts becoming a man. And the tragedy? Some never reach that moment. They stay stuck, forever waiting, forever kids in grown-up bodies. So what about you? Are you still waiting for the rescue squad? Or are you ready to grab the reins and charge into the fight? Let's get real for a second. No one's knocking on your door to drag you out of bed and shove you toward your dreams. There's no fairy godmother waving a wand to turn off the TV, kick you off the couch, and send you sprinting to the gym. That job you've been daydreaming about since you were 22? Yeah, nobody's sliding the application across your desk with a pen and a pep talk. That business idea buzzing in your head? The one that could change everything? No one's sitting down to write the plan for you, crunch the numbers, or pitch it to the big shots. It's on you. Every single step, every late night, every tough call. And here's the kicker. Unless you figure out how to be your own drill sergeant, your own cheerleader, your own damn savior, you're not going anywhere. You'll just sit there, scrolling X, binging Netflix, chasing cheap thrills, while your dreams gather dust in the corner. Life doesn't hand out participation trophies. It doesn't even hand out rule books. It throws you into the deep end and watches to see if you swim or sink. Take me, for example. I wasn't born some polished, unstoppable machine. Life shaped me into a guy who stumbled, who messed up, who stared into the mirror and didn't always like what he saw. Back in the day, I was a mess, a product of circumstance, bad habits, and a whole lot of excuses. And you know what? That wasn't entirely my fault. Maybe it's not entirely yours either. The way you think, the way you act, the fears that keep you up at night. Some of that got wired into you long before you had a say. But here's where the story shifts. Fault or no fault? No one's riding in on a white horse to undo the damage. If you want to fix what's broken, you've got to roll up your sleeves, march back to where it all started, and face the wreckage head on. It's scary as hell, but it's the only way. David Goggins, you know the guy, the human freight train of grit, put it best. When it gets nasty, you had nobody anyway. Look around you. When the chips are down, when the sweat's pouring, when the weight feels like it's crushing your chest, who's there? No team, no hype squad, just you. Sure, we all crave that pat on the back, that training buddy who yells, "One more rep." We convince ourselves we need someone to hold us accountable, to keep us on track. But here's the secret the exceptional ones know. The path to greatness isn't a group hike, it's a solo trek through the wilderness. And instead of crying about the silence, you've got to embrace it. That loneliness? It's not a curse, it's a sign you're on the right trail. If everyone's clapping for you, cheering you on, guess what? You're probably just blending in with the crowd. Mediocrity loves company. Excellence? It demands you go it alone. Life isn't fair, not even close. You can scream about it, shake your fist at the sky, blame your parents, your boss, the economy, whatever gets you through the night. But at some point, you've got to ask yourself, so what? What am I going to do about it? I figured that out the hard way. No one was coming to pull me out of the gutter. No miracle was going to transform me into the man I wanted to be. It was on me, my mentality, my hustle, my refusal to quit. I was the underdog, and you are too. Even the toughest, most successful people out there, they're underdogs in their own minds. That's the fuel. That I've never arrived mindset, that can't hurt me armor. It doesn't matter if you crawled out of the sewer or stumbled off a silver spoon. When I clawed my way up from rock bottom, I stood on that road, bruised and battered, and said, You can't touch me now. I built that strength alone, in the dark, with no one to lean on. And that's the man I became. There's this messy, brutal chapter in every journey worth a damn. You start chasing something bigger, something new, and suddenly, you don't fit anymore. The old crew, the buddies you used to hit the bar with, the ones who'd rag on you for skipping around, they don't get it. You're not the same guy who'd down a beer and call it a night. You're out there grinding, dreaming, pushing, and they're still stuck on repeat. Not drinking again, huh? Too good for us now, they jab. Staying in to read? What a nerd. It stings. You feel the pull to slide back, to fit in, to keep the peace. But here's the catch. You're not fully there yet either. You haven't found your new tribe, the ones who'll run alongside you in this wild chase for more. You're caught in the middle, too far gone to turn back, not far enough to see the finish line. And that, my friend, is the loneliest place of all. I've been there. 99% of my grind, my runs, my lifts, my battles, happened solo. No one slapping my back, no one shouting my name, just me, the gym, the mirror, and the voices in my head. I lived in that misery for years, drowning in it, until I figured out how to swim. And when I broke the surface, I didn't need anyone to tell me I'd made it. I knew. That's the power of going it alone. You forge something unbreakable, something no one can take from you. People ask me all the time, how do you stay motivated? Where's the spark? I tell them it's the unseen work. It's the 2 a.m. runs when the world's asleep. It's the long, brutal sessions in the gym with no one to spot me. It's the rucksack I hefted, the logs I carried, the boat I dragged, all by myself. No hype man, no applause, just me and the grind. That's where the fire lives. But don't get me wrong, alone doesn't mean easy. You've got to cut the fat from your life. Ditch the junk food, the late night scrolling, the endless parties. Sacrifice isn't sexy. It's sweat and grit and saying no when everyone else says yes. It's choosing the hard road over the happy hour. While they're out clinking glasses, you're in the dark, asking yourself, did I do enough today? The bars are always open, the good times are always calling, but the window to chase your dreams? That's a limited time offer. I've closed gyms when the parking lot was a ghost town, my car the only one left under the flickering lights. Lonely? Damn right. But if you can handle that, if you can walk with your own shadow and not flinch, you're unstoppable. The world becomes your playground, and you're the only one writing the rules. Here's a lesson I wish I'd learned sooner. Time alone isn't punishment. It's revelation. It strips away the noise and shows you 3 things: who you are, what you're made of, and where you're meant to go. But you've got to lean into it. Shut off the phone, kill the TV, ditch the distractions. Go dark, get quiet, face yourself. Most people can't. They'd rather drown in chatter than sit with their own thoughts. But if you want to find your purpose, you've got to dig through the muck. Who are you really? What's the truth you've been dodging? It might take months, years even, but that's where the gold is, buried in the silence. No one's coming to hand you the map. You've got to draw it yourself. So, big dog, let's cut the crap. Your life, your mess, your wins, it's all on you. Every dumb choice, every bad habit, every time you hit snooze instead of grinding, it's led you right here. No one's swooping in to clean it up. No excuses left to hide behind. You want out? You want more? Then stop waiting and start moving. Get fierce. Get focused. Find that spark inside you, the one that roars when the world says quit. It's not about what could have been or what should have happened. It's about what you're going to do right now. The clock's ticking, and the only one who can turn it around is staring back at you in the mirror. Here's the takeaway. Greatness isn't a gift, it's a choice. And it's a choice you make alone, day after day, when no one's watching. Life won't save you, but you can. Build yourself into someone you'd bet on, someone who doesn't need a bailout. It's not easy, but it's worth it. You've got the power to rewrite your story, starting today. If this hit you square in the chest, if it lit a fire under you, don't just sit there. Do something with it. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the one thing you're going to stop waiting for? Share this with someone who needs a wake-up call. Hit that like button if you're ready to own your grind, and subscribe for more raw, real talk like this. Follow the channel. We're just getting started, and I want you along for the ride. Let's build something unstoppable together. But it starts with you, right now, alone in the dark, deciding to rise.